And hello, fellow gamers. I'm back once again playing a video game. This time I'm playing Sewer Shark on the Sega CD, and I'm starting this from the very beginning of the game booting up, so we got the logos going on here. Basically, this was one of those early games that were focused mostly on full motion video, which at the time was kind of impressive tech, especially considering that the Sega Genesis combined with the Sega CD did not have a whole lot of memory built into the system. Of course, the discs were still full-size CDs, so you could fit a lot on a disc. And so all the video decoding that it's doing right here, mostly it's doing that in software.
Another crash and burn. First time, huh, rookie? Hey, listen, I hear they're putting you in with Ghost today. Now that's my main man. Greatest co-pilot to ever shoot the tubes. Give him your best stuff, and he'll keep you flying. Maybe all the way to Solar City, huh?
Nah, not likely. I'll probably blow up before I get there.
I'm Falco. You be here for me.
And now we meet Ghost.
Welcome to the sewers, punk. The guy you're replacing, he had that same tough guy smirk on his face that you do.
You mean like this?
They're out there now, blotting him up with handy wipes.
Splat.
I always come back for more. Let's go, rookie!
This guy's kind of loud, if you can't tell.
Take a deep breath, rookie. Don't you love the smell of the sewers in the morning?
Not really.
Like victory. This here's the whole hog. I took her apart and I put her back together again. No matter what they taught you up at Top Rat, factory jobs ain't worth scrap. I got some stuff in here. It's not all strictly legal, but it just might
Sweet.
keep you off the wall. Now I'm telling you, you're the better one. Your call sign, dog meat.
Dog me.
All right, climb aboard, dog meat.
Directed by John Dykstra. John Dykstra, he's such a dick.
Crash and burn. Crash and burn.
Hey, that's gonna be me.
Sewer jockeys come and they go. But down here, this is the hole. I give you a name. A friend,
Dog meat.
a boss, and a reason to live.
I guess that's Solar City?
Me big dog meat. And what's my payback? 1,000,000 pounds of tube steak. That's all you gotta deliver today, hot shot.
I love that line.
You nail this one run, and we got a one-way ticket to Solar City.
1,000,000 pounds of tube steak. I love that line. I don't know why.
Maybe you're good enough, dog meat. Let's find out.
Okay, so now we're getting to the actual game here.
Screw up, huh? Hey, Captain, transmit jet.
Getting to it.
Oh, I'm working real good now, Mr. Ghost. Oh my gosh, what is that ugly thing sitting in the pilot seat?
Catfish, pilot accident file, access. Run data, evaluate.
Oh, well, 12 pilots missing, 3 recoveries with extensive transmutal lobotometric. Oh, well,
I think Catfish just got a boner.
complete cranial evacuation is a no-brainer, Mr. Ghost.
Down there suck their brains out. Coordinates.
Well, they were all down there in Sector 19.
That's where Falco's headed. We better keep in close touch with her today.
Well, I sure hope she stays out of Sector 19. A nice girl like
Hey,
that.
Catfish, come on. Let's go kick a little ratigator butt, okay?
Well, not another bug hunt, Mr. Ghost. Oh, gosh.
No, dog meat. Catfish needs a trip to Solar City worse than we do.
It's dark and scary down there, Mr. Ghost, and it smells terrible.
We are go for
I'm enjoying the overpowering cheesiness and campiness of this whole thing.
relax. Pretend it's a
We're almost to the game, I swear.
even be fun. Shut the tubes, dog meat.
Catfish the Ghost, we got a target acquisition down here. Oh my gosh, it's Godzilla. The critter
Okay.
said 3, 6, 12.
Okay, 3, 6, 12. I have to remember that. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff happening here quickly. Actually, I'm going to pause it and tell you what's going on here. Catfish flew on ahead of me, and then he called out 3 directions, 3, 6, and 12. That corresponds to the directions at the top of the screen. 3 being the right arrow, and 6 being the bottom one, and then 12 being the top. And of course the one on the left is 9. What that means is, as I'm flying through this tube, the arrows at the top are going to flash green, and that means that there's an exit in that direction coming up. What you're supposed to do is you're only supposed to take the exits that Catfish calls out. So the first one right here is 3, and Catfish wants me to go 3, 6, 12, so I know I want to take this first one. So I'm going to do my very best to take it. And I missed it already, apparently. No, I didn't want to take that one. See, now I've completely fucked it up. And I can shoot stuff on the way, too. Now, you can miss a certain number of exits and still be okay. I don't know what that number is. See, there's 12, but I don't know if I'm back on the right track or not. Now, sometime soon, Catfish is going to call out another 3 directions. And when he does, the arrows at the top of the screen will actually flash as he's speaking. So just in case you can't hear him or you can't understand him, you can still watch the arrows, figure out where you're supposed to go. 6, 3, 12. Okay. So I don't take this one, because that's 3. I don't take this one either. But I do take this one.
Way to go, buddy!
And I take this one. The next one's 12. Now, for the people that are watching on the live stream, apologies for the live stream starting later than usual tonight. It actually took some effort to get the Sega CD working. It probably hasn't been turned on in years, literally. And initially it was completely dead. So I think that right there is a complete correct sequence.
You nailed those jumps!
Yep. And I'm digging this music right here. Apparently in the credits it says that Mark Mothersbaugh composed the music for this right here. If you don't know who Mark Mothersbaugh is, he was a founding member of Devo, I believe, which was a band back in the 80s. It was a techno crazy ape-shit band. 6, 3, 12. Oh shit, that was fast coming up. Still got it though. But Mark Mothersbaugh also tends to team up with director Wes Anderson. So you've heard his music in movies like The Royal Tenenbaums, and I'm not sure about Fantastic Mr. Fox or not. I know he did do the music for, what was that movie called? The Life Aquatic. Oh, those shots are coming off my energy too. So I gotta be careful how many shots I'm firing. And everything that I've told you about the game that I actually...
Mr. Ghost, the dang thing hit me! Vector 669er.
Okay. So 669. As I was saying before though, all the explanation I've been giving up until now for how the game works, that's all that I know about the game. Which is why this pretty much qualifies as a Jeremy Tries instead of Jeremy Plays. Okay, so the next one is 9. Do not want to take that one. Or that one. Ooh, just barely got that. Initially, when I hooked up my Sega CD for this, like I said, it wouldn't even turn on. And the Genesis would turn on, but the lights on the front of the Sega CD, because I have the Model 1 Sega CD and the Model 1 Genesis, the lights on the front of the Sega CD wouldn't even turn on.
Hey, dog food, or whatever your name is. This is Commissioner Stenchler.
My boss.
Listen, pal, you're a disgrace to the exterminating profession.
Okay.
If I didn't have this pressing dinner engagement, I'd come right down there and I'd...
He decked ya!
Yeah, I'd deck you.
Miss Eradicator's the size of your eggs. Snap out of it. Shoot the tubes.
He's beating my head. What the hell? Guy's a dick. So I guess I didn't kill enough stuff.
Attention, sewer mart shoppers. We got a lovely assortment of bogeys bearing 12, 6, 3.
12, 6, 3. Okay, I can do that. Yep. Back when I first played this game a couple of years ago, I had no idea how to play. Like, I actually had to read the instruction manual to find out, okay, Catfish calls out the directions, and then you're supposed to go that way. And I forgot the directions I'm supposed to go here now, so I don't know if that was the right way. In case you couldn't tell, I'm not good at shooting games. And apologies for not looking at the chat, because there's really no break in this. Of course, if you're watching on the recording, there is no chat, so you're not missing anything. My Sega CD actually has kind of an oddity about it that maybe the Model 1 is supposed to do, but basically whenever you turn on the system, since the Model 1 is a tray loading system, because it sits underneath the Genesis,
Back on a ghost. Back up to ghost. I hope you read me, my friend. I'm onto something totally rad here. This is hot stuff, buddy. You gotta come meet me right away. I'm gonna give you jump data to my sector gate, and then I'm gonna talk you in from there, okay? Here we go. 12,
Okay.
6, 12.
okay?
That'll get you there. Unless your pilot's a total pinhead.
So she's giving me directions. 12, 6, 12.
Remember, babe. Falco out.
Ghost up, Falco. Are you nuts? It's almost Sector 19. Blast her.
Wherever that is.
She's just asking for it. Sector 19's a sewer jockey's graveyard.
Hmm.
Will you hurt her? Turn and burn, dog meat.
Okay, 12, 6, 12. So anyway, like I was saying, the Model 1 Sega CD is a tray loading system, and so I don't know if this is typical for all the Model 1s, but whenever you turn the system on, mine continuously ejects, and then, oh shit, that was the wrong way. It continuously ejects the tray and then pulls it back in. Like every few seconds, it'll eject, and then a few seconds, boom, and then it'll suck it back in. And so whenever it ejects the tray on its own, you got to be quick and put the disc in it before it sucks it back in. Anyway, here's the credits, yeah. So first, whenever I powered it up, like I said, I got no lights on the front, and then sometimes I would get lights but nothing on the screen, or I would get the Sega CD boot up thing on the screen but no lights, and so it involved like a lot of because the Model 1 Sega CD, like I said, it sits underneath the Genesis, so it's like this. And the connector for the Sega CD is on the side of the Genesis. So the Sega CD has its own kind of arm that comes up and goes over like that. And so you slide the Genesis into it. And apparently at some point over the past couple of years, my Genesis slid out. And so I guess like some dirt and dust or something had gotten in there and messed with the contacts. So a lot of thrusting, and eventually it started working. It sliding it in, sliding it back out, scraped the contacts enough on the card edge connectors to clean the contacts off. And now it works pretty perfectly. I'm surprised. Oh, Oddman 845 was keeping track of the directions for me in the chat. That's quite helpful, thank you. Blind Reflex has joined us, welcome. As well as 2 more viewers. So welcome to you. Actually, one of those is Blind Reflex. We got 4 viewers now. Blind Reflex says, favorite FMV game? I don't know that I have a favorite because I typically don't play these kinds of games. I like my games to have more interactivity than this. Although this is pretty interactive for an FMV game, it's definitely far from being a game where you click and then you watch a movie and you click and you watch a movie. Because you're actually doing stuff the entire time. But I can think of a few FMV games off the top of my head that I have at least seen or played. One of them was Mobus on the PC, which came on 3 CDs, and it was an adventure game. And what they did is they completely 3D rendered movie transitions between points on this area map, which you view from first person. So you go into a room, and typically you can go in 3 directions. You can go left, right, or continue forward. And so they pre-rendered like you turning to the left or turning to the right or going forward, walking through these like jungle environments and ruins, buildings, that kind of stuff. So it was impressive technologically for the time, because this was like around 1995 when that was released. But there was not a whole lot of game there. And then there was another game released at around the same time, which was much more of an interactive movie than a video game, called Silent Steel, that came on 4 CDs, and it literally was a thing where you watch a clip of a movie, it took place on a submarine, and you played the captain. And so the crew would talk to you a bit, or maybe something would happen, and then the game would present you with a few options of what to do. And you click one of those, and so you're gradually following this decision tree through the game. And even though there was not a whole lot of gameplay there, it was actually kind of interesting to follow the story and watch it play out. I have heard that of the 4 discs that Silent Steel comes on, if you navigate this decision tree such that you put in disc 3 for any reason whatsoever, that's instant game over. Because the very first thing that plays on disc 3 is a game over movie. So that means the proper decision tree involves going at some point from disc 2 to disc 4, which I thought was interesting. Anyway, let's play some more of this. I kept wanting to say, when I was thinking of FMV games, I kept wanting to say Myst, but I know Myst is not FMV, it's solid screenshots. but it's still kind of an adventure game like that. I think subsequent games in the Myst series were more like I described Mobus to be, where it would stop on a solid screen and you'd pick something to do, and then it would play a movie transition towards doing that action. Oh, Man845 says Jeremy wants a 12-pack. He and I were talking about packs of soda before, and he apparently doesn't have 12 packs of soda where he's from. So they're pretty common where I'm at. They come in a fridge pack, and it's basically like a cardboard rectangular tube thing, and it's only 1 can wide and 2 cans tall, but it's 6 cans deep. And so you open one end of it and you put the whole thing in the fridge, and then you just pull out 1 can at a time.
Greatest co-pilot to ever shoot the tube. Give him your best stuff and he'll keep you flying. Maybe all the way.
Man845 says, Jeremy, I forget that game that had advanced graphics in the arcade, but a crap NES game. I don't know if I'd go far to say, as far as to say crap, but that's basically every arcade to home console conversion ever. The arcade was always much more technologically advanced than the home consoles, unless you were lucky enough and rich enough to own a Neo Geo, in which case it was identical in both places. Anyway, let's skip this and get to the game. And let's see if I can actually get through the part where Falcon was before.
Freeway junction's coming up. Stay cool. Don't let them freak you out. Catfish.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Man845 said it was a movie, but with a crap NES conversion. You're thinking of Dragon's Lair, which Dragon's Lair was an interactive movie. In fact, 3612. Okay. Dragon's Lair was an interactive movie, and it was the first arcade game to use a Laserdisc. So all of the video for the game was actually stored on a big Laserdisc in a Laserdisc player that was inside the cabinet. And then I think they did another game. I know they did another game, but I think it might have used the same tech because it was kind of the same game, and that was Space Ace. The animation for those games, because they were animated, was produced by Don Bluth, who made such memorable animated movies as the American Tail series and the Land Before Time series. Don Bluth himself being an ex-Disney animator. He left Disney to found his own studio. Wait, have I already done the 12? I must have. 9, 3, 12, okay. Yay, Angry Dude is somewhat pleased with my performance. I think after this run I'll start screwing around because there's one of the things that that Angry Dude says that I think is also another, it's like one of my 2 favorite lines in the game. Oh. But he already said the one, which was 1,000,000 pounds of tube steak. And the other one that he says is whenever you screw up. Damn right I did. Damn bats.
There's a whole mess of bogies at Bearing
936. Zoop.
Catfish the ghost, the dang thing bit me. Vector 1269er.
1269. It's got two of my favorite numbers in sequence. Being these two numbers that are coming up. So basically this game is more of a tech demo than anything. There's not a lot of depth to the gameplay going on, but it's not a bad game. I do remember back in the day when this was new, I knew about this game even though I was a die-hard Nintendo fan, and
Hey, dog food, or whatever your name is. This is Commissioner Stensler. Listen, pal, you're a disgrace to the exterminating profession.
fuck you.
If I didn't have a pressing dinner engagement, I'd come right down there and I'd...
Anyway, I remember this game from the time, even though I was a die-hard Nintendo fan, and I'd pretty much shit on anything Sega so much as look at it. And still I knew about this game, so that must have meant that it was heavily, heavily advertised.
Attention, sewer mart shoppers, we got a lovely assortment of monkeys bearing 12, 3, 12.
312. Simple enough. Fucking bats. Now those ones are the ones that are cheap, where you come around the corner and the thing's on the screen for like a half a second. Most of those ones I've only shot by accident. Like that one right there. And that one right there. When you think about it, though, what looks like such simple gameplay on the surface must have taken some incredible programming talent to get this to run as well as it does, as smoothly as it does. because I don't think that these levels all go in the same sequence every time, which means it's somewhat random.
Welcome to Ghost. I hope you read me, my friend. I'm onto something totally rad here. This is hot stuff, buddy.
You mean hot like my balls?
I'm gonna give you jump data to my sector gate, and then I'm gonna talk you in from there, okay? Here we go. 3, 12, 3.
3, 12, 3.
So that'll
Okay.
keep you there. Unless your pilot's a total pinhead.
Hey, fuck you, bitch.
Turn and burn, babe. Falco out.
Ghost up, Falco. Are you nuts? It's almost Sector 19. Blast her.
She said 3, 12, 3, right?
Asking for it. Sector 19's a sewer jockey's graveyard.
Game's trying to make me forget what this cutscene.
You heard her. Turn and burn, dog meat.
Okay, got the 3. That should be 3, 12, 3 right there. Shit, am I going to run out of energy? He said there was an energy recharge coming up. I haven't seen anything. Maybe I should stop shooting. Say that I'm going to stop shooting, and then I keep shooting the things. Basically, I'm just not going after the bats.
Hey, dog breath, or whatever your name is. That was one lousy run.
Fuck you!
Waste.
Southern Municipal Fund has such an obvious boondoggle.
That's it. You're a boondoggle.
What? Oh, Jesus, he's partially naked. I think. Of course, so is she, so that's not so bad.
Look at those totals, dog meat. They look reconstituted frog slime. I'm shipping you back to flight school. See how you like flying at desks, butt brain?
Did he just call me a butt brain? Okay, credits so I can go back up here. Blind Reflex says, I've only played Night Trap. It was meh. Yeah, that's the gist that I got too. I hear Road Avenger is one of the best FMV games. I've never even heard of that, actually, which is surprising. Amene45 says, today was the last day that Obama was president. Yeah, shame. Kitsune says, Sewer Shark, you've hit rock bottom, man. Welcome, Kitsune. Nice to see you, too. Kitsune says, next thing you know, you'll be doing a 24-hour cast of Night Trap, the 32X Plus CD version. That means I would have to find both of them. But if I could find both of them, then hell yes, I'd do 24 hours. Why not? Just because no one's doing it. See, Amene45 says, Superman 64, Pong. Don't know what you're talking about, dude. Kisune says, I just made Pong my screensaver 2 days ago. Sweet! I should find that screensaver. Amene45 says, Jeremy has a Pong unit. Yes, I do. It's right down there. It's a Telegames unit, and I got it a couple of years ago for $11. And believe it or not, I've never even plugged it in or turned it on, so I don't even know if it works. It can be battery powered, believe it or not, and why not just reach down and grab it and show it to you instead of talking about it. This is it. So yeah, it's got the knobs on the front, and it's got on-off switch and push to start, and this really long RF cable coming out of it. Probably, at this point, the electronics in here are so weak that nothing even comes out of this anymore. And you can, like I said, you can battery power it. The gigantic battery compartment comes off the bottom, or I think you can plug in an AC adapter. Yeah, there was a connection on the back right there for an AC adapter. So yeah, I'm gonna mess around with this now and see if I can get him to say my other favorite line in this game. And Tom Smith has joined us. Excellent. I was hoping you were going to tune in for this one, Tom. The Sega CD game. I know it's not a Genesis game, but it is Sega CD, so it's sort of on the road to what you like. Ahmed845 says that I guess my Pong unit is called the TV Fun Thing, and he saw it on the AVGN video. That's right, he did do a video of Pong consoles. And Ahmed845 says they all look similar. They do. That was because, much like today, it was the same back then, where if somebody came along with a successful product, everybody else cloned the fuck out of it. Anyway, start this ship. Oh, Tom says, I've been here, I've just been really tired, so I haven't said anything. Okay, so I'm going to intentionally start fucking this up to see if he'll say my other favorite line. Tom says, I'm definitely going to bed right after this stream. Well, this shouldn't be too much longer then. So I'm going to immediately go... No, I don't want to go to 3. That wasn't it. But I'll take this one. Remember your jump data, that's not it. I think that might have been the right way, actually. That wasn't it. You know, I guess if I wanted to ensure that I fuck up, I just... 3, 9, 12. Okay. If I want to guarantee that I fuck up, I could just go straight, because you're never supposed to go straight. That was it! He said, wrong way, butt brain! I randomly get that line in my head. Sometimes I even say it when I'm in traffic. Oh, that was the recharge in the ceiling, I guess. And I guess I'm supposed to shoot it. He says recharge coming up, and then it's like immediately in your face. And interestingly, I think the video quality after encoding for YouTube actually makes this game look better. If you could see it from my view, it looks much grainier on my TV than it does on YouTube. So the encoding process is somehow smoothing this out. Anyway, now I think I'm just gonna blow up on purpose. which I think you could do, just like this. Boom! Yeah. Kitsune says, hey, this isn't Snatcher. That's because I haven't bought Snatcher. And I might never, because it's hundreds of dollars, and you know that. Shut up. Obman845 says, thing isn't in the real name. I don't know what that means. Tom says, I thought this game looked interesting because it has a weird title. It does have kind of a weird title because it's called Sewer Shark, and they do refer to the in-game as the area that you're going through as sewer, but it's clearly taking place, well, I think it's taking place in like a space station out in space. And so they call it a sewer, but you think of a sewer as being like underground. So, yeah. So until I actually played this game based on its title, I thought it was something totally different. And Obman845 says, where's the shark? Yeah, that's a good point. It's not in a sewer, and there's no shark. This game is full of false advertising. It's bullshit. Tom says, maybe Sewer Shark is the name of his ship. No, the name of the ship is the Whole Hog. It actually says that in the introductory cutscene. Tom says, I'm too tired to even mention Kid Chameleon, but you did, and I knew you were going to. Kitsune says, you failed, but you get the credit, so that counts as beating the game? Maybe it does. That's a good point. So if you want to beat this game, if you want to speed run this game, just put down the controller, and you'll die as fast as possible, and you'll beat it as fast as possible. I think the Sega CD is actually... Oh, no, it's just rebooting. I thought it was fucking up there for a second. Anyway, that's all the game that I'm going to play for now. So for the people watching on the recording, this is it. So thank you for watching, and I'll play another game sometime very soon. So see you then.